Welcome for another edition of Pokémon XG before I forget. But right now, I'm trying to decide who to lead off with. Because we're starting to get Pokemon at level 50, which is great. Because 50 is the magical level moment, because 50 is just a magical moment. Because I don't remember Swimmer Speed getting anything, but Congenerant got Thunder and Ellie got Earthquake. Real excited about the latter. So I get the feeling that some exciting things are going to happen as we get more Pokemon up to level 50. I'm not sure if I'm content going into endgame, even if everyone's at level 50. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do another round of Mount Battle just to boost it up a little more. What am I doing on the blank static screen? Let's just push onwards. Not gonna worry too much about what we lead with until we can get a tell of what the type for this section of Mount Battle is. And let's try to think of a fun topic to go into this little section in, because it's kind of fun to do it last time. Oh, we're getting the fairy already? This is a little awkward. I do have Ellie with Poison Jab, but I don't have a solid... I guess Fairy's the one thing I don't properly cover with this team. I guess the bigger issue is I don't have defensive coverage rather than offensive coverage. And kind of wasn't really thinking that Fairy would be a big deal until you literally have an entire team of Fairy type Pokemon for me to have to deal with. Is going into Talon Swift really a good idea when Talon Swift is not exactly the most bulky Pokemon to come around? I think the problem is like my Fire type would be a good resist, but it's also part Dark type. And it resists, it doesn't really give me an offensive advantage at all. Anyways, coming to the topics, the first thing that comes to mind is regards to remakes and remasters. But I didn't really have a solid direction in... Wow, I swear, if I got one-shotted as soon as I sent them in there, like, for one, it would be part of the course for Talon Swift. But I became a little salty about it in the process. At least you can attack right away, but I wonder if I spent too much time setting up. You could roost, but the downside about playing a past generation game with modern mechanics is things like here, where I know there's plenty of bug fairies and grass fairies, but not yet. Not for a few more generations. And it kind of stinks because I really would like to just nuke one of these Pokemon before going down. But I think playing supportive role would be for the best. Because I could heal up, but then Talon Swift would just be completely wasted in vain. Man. It kind of feels like the 95% accurate Heat Wave. That 5% inaccuracy of it all is kind of biting me in the butt right about now. Cool. Everyone's going down. I should have just done 2 Heat Waves instead of trying to set up. Huzzah! A slight downgrade from your average huzzah. You know what? I forgot I should start giving things Protect. As much as I don't really want to get rid of any of these moves, if Ellie and Congener are going to be out together as frequently now that I have Earthquake, Congener kind of needs to move to have decent synergy. Definitely want to go for Discharge. It's just what do I want to do with, maybe just for priority and to assure that it actually gets knocked out by discharge. Because I really need to start knocking out Pokemon. It was not... this is not going to a good start if I essentially got knocked... both my Pokemon got knocked out in the early lead. Especially when one of them's one of the Pokemon I'm trying to get up to level 50. The Fable... It's like, how many Pokemon of the Fairy type can you pull from just the first 3 generations? The answer may surprise you. It's a tough call, but I think the Clefable might be a bigger threat. Yeah, if it's taking that little damage, then it probably is the bigger threat. The only downside is no secondary poison for me. They did their best with these move animations. It's a good job. Not too keen on having the Pokemon that rely on spamming their special attacks, having their special attack dropped. And in case you can tell already, we might have to put a little of a corkscrew on the whole storytime plan for when I'm not having my back up against the wall. It's down with you. And at least I know you can get finished off fairly easily. I'm so glad I put Poison Jab on Ellie. I know I was debating it for a long time, but I get the feeling that it's really gonna shine here. The only reason I don't have Ellie lead every battle is out of the concern of wanting to try to get my Houndoom a little more experience. Oh, don't tell me Protect's a move tutor move and not a TM. Why? It's a TM in so many games. Oh, and this was a TM the whole time, so I guess if I really get sick of Earthquake, assuming I actually get an Earthquake TM, swapping between the two of those is also an option. Can anyone learn Sucker Punch? It's a move that I'm surprised I never actually... You can. But, it's really any better than Crunch. Especially when it has to... the Pokemon has to attack in order for me to even use it. I don't know. Guess it's good to know. Keep that in mind. Being my one Pokemon with a poison move might still get some mileage out of this lead, nevertheless. And I'm gonna just let the experienced Jer do his job going forward. Oh, it is. You know what? Okay. That kind of solidifies my decision. Because we are very lacking on the fairy coverage. And I plan to change that. Besides, getting very little mileage out of Superpower anyways. You may be asking, Jackie K, are you really going to teach Poison Jab to all your Pokemon just for 1/2 of an area in Mount Battle? The answer is yes. Yes, I am. Alright, I spent a lot of time finagling around. Let's put this on-paper theory into action. I was gonna say, is there even anything that could counter a poison type? Is there even any fairies that could counter a poison type in this game? And the answer is all the psychic fairy types, but that only works if you're going for stab. Poison Jab you. Poison Jab you. Everyone gets a little toxin in their life. Oh, I forgot I still had the Life Orb. Hopefully that won't come to bite me in the butt. Now, if only I could have that Poison Jab and not be weak to Fairy. Like, I'm not, but I'm also not resistant to it. Good job in lowering the special attack of my physical attackers. Feel free to keep it up. I forget how, swift Talon Swift is, even without the whole Gale Wings thing. Something tells me that, like, if I'm gonna heal, though, I should really do it next turn. But at least that shouldn't be a problem because this Clefable is no more. Yeah, this is what I was kind of afraid of when I realized that the whole theme of this area was... Oh, hey! Just when I was about to say that things were starting to get stale. Look who I have out, and I'm glad I decided to keep them out. And I was kind of debating if it would have been better for me just to go for the poison jab, but... Alright, that thing where I don't think they actually programmed the secondary effect of removing the flying type. It's more of a placebo effect than anything else. Maybe I should have just gone for the poison jab. Well, too late now. Alright, let's see how well our fighting type fares against nothing but its weakness. And what are the odds I'm missing twice? You know what? Just in case, though. Alternatively, Protect could be a thing. Yeah. Who wants to bet that was gonna be the one time that I actually hit the poison jab? Or the one time I actually hit a heat wave on it. Alright. At least they're not gonna get a chance to retaliate. There was good in going for that Spore after all. And I'm not feeling too great about how little Heat Wave actually did. Maybe I'll just put them both to sleep. There's nothing to stop me from doing so. Alright. Not a lot, but we're slowly getting that health down. And we outspeed a Berlin, or outspeed a Mawile, so don't have to worry about like a random Fire Fang or something like that. I say that, but it's a freaking fairy type. It would just go for the play rough and do so much more. Really? Speaking of just going for the fairy type move and ending me, not what I was expecting, but the same result. Alright, at least this gives a chance for other Pokemon to get experience that need it, like Talon Swift. Oh, that's right, I'm already poisoned, I can't get paralyzed. You two may actually have good chemistry together after all. And more importantly, I want to assure that I don't get Moonblasted to the face and ruin all this potential chemistry that we got going. So, I gotta double check, but I'm pretty sure that just means interesting. Not exactly a move I would expect a Pokemon with very flimsy arms to have, but if you're trying to give a grass move to a physical attacker, I can understand going for that. I forget the gimmick of this, like, I forget if it's lowering speed or recoil damage. Though, if it's just recoil damage though, I might be able to make it work, especially if it's just as strong as Seed Bomb. Like, when I'm not getting one shot, I'm actually looking for opportunities or reasons to actually have the Poison Heal. Like, my point being is that Poison Heal would counteract any recoil damage I got, and it's not like I need to wall hits, because with Birdom it's like, you either knock out the foes or they knock out you, and there's not exactly a lot of wiggle room in between. I'm gonna give it a go. It sucks that the character limit in descriptions force you to guess at that, because I know there's a secondary effect, it's just there's no room in the text box to tell me. So maybe I should have just gone to the move to finish it off, but if there's any Pokemon left, which it doesn't seem like there is, it would at least give me a turn to give me an opportunity to just gang up on the new Pokemon coming out. And you know what? I gotta see for myself. Let's have some fun with Woodhammer. Right! XD! The whole accurate thing when you call them. Alright, it's a recoil move. That will be good to know for now. So I don't have to worry about doing guesswork when I really can't afford that. Healings will run down. Weirdly enough, it's not just you, madame. Thinking the excitement from all these battles is kind of leaving me tired too. Guess a dose of fresh air can only do so much. Take the lead for one battle and... oh my god, I just realized we're so close to the grand moment of this entire ordeal. You know. Right, they made Altaria Fairy Dragon. Battle Bingo taught me that in the most painful way it possibly could. And I don't know if it's better or worse to learn it there, or ineffably learned it here. We could find out for sure if it's Dragon Fairy or Flying Fairy. But why go for that when I could just play the safe route? Also, maybe Flame Jump can come out later, like when there isn't, you know, a water type that's staring it down the face. Ugh. Now, the question is his Azumarill going to have the Fairy type move? You know, I just realized I've had a whole thing planned out. Not really, but said I was going to talk about one thing, and then I got so caught up in these battles that I never brought it back up. But weird choice, but okay. Point being, I was going to talk a bit about remakes. Shoot, I forgot what was it. The driving point I was going to talk about. Kind of like questioning if something was going to come out or not. Oh yeah, like how the odds of getting a Golden Sun remake anytime soon feel like they diminished a lot ever since it got released on Virtual Console and, well, I mean NSO. Virtual Console died ages ago. Man, I don't know what it is about you, Swimmer Speed. No, I think it's Taylor Swift that's been getting these poisons. But someone on this team has the magic touch. Because it feels like Donovan was doing the poison jabs a lot, and we weren't getting diddly squat out of it. Granted, that might just be because I was paralyzing stuff first. Endeavor. Interesting move. Something I would consider on, you know, a normal Swallow. But with this whole Gale Wing stick, there's already so many moves I want to have on it. If it gets low enough on HP to actually use Endeavor, then I'm doing something wrong with Taylor Swift. It's better for it to be on NSO than not at all, because that'll give a lot of people an opportunity to actually play it without, like, you know, digging out their old GBAs. To name a method, I love the intimidation with all my physical attackers. There's a reason the move is just crazy good and competitive from what I've heard. It's weird, like, I've gotten this before and it's like, I talk way too much about competitive Pokemon for not being interested in any competitive Pokemon. I guess a big factor of it is, like, I gotta watch the way I work a lot better if I have something to watch or listen to as I work. And I gotta have something, and because of just how fickle I can be with finding things to watch and listen to, YouTube recommends a lot of competitive Pokemon stuff to me, and I keep watching it because I can't think of anything better to watch while going through all of that. Going through all the tedium of work. Ooh, I was not thinking ahead. I was just like hitting the A button and expecting Swimmer's Speed to put in the work. Sorry, friend. So the good news is, oh wow, Flame Chomp's not even level 50 yet. And not even close. Oof. I think that's the main story behind all that though, just like, I'll occasionally watch Pokemon Go tournaments, but I never really watch beat tournaments of the actual video game. I just feel like I know too much about the competitive scene, because I always hear everyone else talking about it in their YouTube videos and the like, which is better than not being aware of it at all, I suppose. You know what, Tailswift is frail. Tailswift can stay out. If it gets a little overleveled, that's fine, because everyone else will probably catch up after it faints a couple times. So, the remake thing. Like, the main thing I wanted to bring it up was just speculation of if it'd be possible for Golden Sun to get remade, even though it's already on NSO. And I feel like the series would benefit a lot more from a remake than just a port. To be fair, the port is easier, and it's not exactly like Nintendo's really in a rush to make new JRPGs. For multiple reasons, including how niche they are compared to other genres, and the fact that Nintendo already has an RPG with Xenoblade. Though I do not follow Xenoblade, I've heard some things that maybe like the series is like done. Like the story ends at a point where it feels intentional. Like it feels like a series ending rather than just ending to one game, if you know what I mean. So I'm not really convinced. It'd be nice if there was a Xenoblade fan watching that could clarify that for me. Like, is there any chance Xenoblade is over, or did I just mishear some things? Because it's not like I'm expecting Xenoblade to end and Golden Sun to take its place. That's unrealistic. Like, Golden Sun has been relevant for years, and yet everyone but me loves Xenoblade. And I don't even get why I can really get into the hype, but it's a part of it where it just seems like it's all about the characters and the story. And if you're someone that is into RPGs for gameplay, there isn't really anything there for you. But I'm also in a situation where it's not like I really look too into the games to see what the gameplay is like. You know what it is? I'm a little turned off by the fact that it's action-oriented, that the battles are action-oriented. Which, like, if I wanted to play, I understand why, because not everyone likes turn-based battles, but for me, if I'm playing an action-oriented RPG, I probably would just play an action game. A lot of the appeal for RPGs for me is their more slower nature, or at least a little strategic nature. I'll be honest, the real reason that I'm interested in RPGs is the customization that they tend to offer in their gameplay. Like, part of the reason I like Golden Sun is the Gen system. And it just seems to be like a big factor in RPGs as a whole. It's like one of the first things I look into. And even Pokemon, like, we don't really think of Pokemon as an RPG too often just because of how big how much of its own beast has become over the years. Hold on, I need to take a moment to take this in because this is nice. I was talking about how I needed, well, since Heatwave's a TM and I kind of need the poison move for the rest of the fairy area, I'll go for that first. Yeah, I kind of realized why I've been more hesitant to go into just miscellaneous tangents, because for some reason I've been more paranoid of like upsetting people with my opinions or whatever. Was comfort food guy a thing in the original games? Because the game, there's no way that the mod changed that one text when they've been so blatantly off. It's been so blatantly obvious that they didn't touch things in the past, even things that would benefit the gameplay if they did. So who do I want to go in this final battle with? Oh, I just realized Flame Chomp is level 50, even though I could have sworn it was like 48 one battle ago. That's great for her. More importantly, it means I shouldn't really worry about who my lead is. At least for sake of experience. I do kind of feel like before I end this, I do kind of feel like I was unintentionally giving Xenoblade a little too much shade, because I don't dislike the game, I just can never find the thing that made me get interested into it. And it can get a little frustrating when like everyone hypes it up as the greatest thing to ever happen to video games, and yet you personally just can't find that thing that makes it special. And I like to find that. The other thing is that I would like to find a thing that's special before actually playing the games myself, because RPGs are big and Xenoblade is no exception, and ironically the size is probably the biggest thing that's turned me away from it. It's like, RPGs as a whole are big, but even things like Golden Sun, partly because they're older RPGs, but it still remains that they're still pretty small compared to how RPGs are these days. At least the first game. I probably don't, probably part of the reason I don't replay the other game, part of the reason I replayed Golden Sun 1 more than 2 is exclusively a size thing. It's like the whole reason we have Dawn Gen rather than me just making a fresh new mod off the base of Lost Age. But I've been over that story already, and I'm not sure if I got the time to go into it at the moment. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? You're not safe, because you could get... We're kind of at a point where Heat Wave could take care of both of them. I'm going to go for... I would say Liquidation would be the safe option, but what if the Monowile misses? Or I was going to say, I wanted to go for Ice Punch, but if the Monowile avoids the attack, then it would just be taking a resisted Ice Punch. But I'm worried about Liquidation because I recall that it's not perfectly accurate. Oh, that's right, I got rid of Heat Wave! What timing! It's okay. We're fine. I don't think we've lost any Pokemon. We're about to take 2 out. And this is why I want to have Heat Wave, even though Overheat is a superior option. It's doing this thing again where I tried to say 2 different names at once. Alright, so nice to have you at level 51. Of course, the area leader of the fairy area leader, of course, has to have a Gardevoir. And luckily I don't have any poison type Pokemon, so don't have to worry about that being an issue. But I was trying to see if I could capitalize on any of the other types while out here. At least I don't have to worry about having a dark type will help me out against the psychic typing. Especially because it probably has Pixelate for an ability and is enjoying spamming hyper voices with the same type attack bonus. Days like today's that make me wish that I actually had the Heat Wave, but no use crying over spilt milk and webs. Ooh! The worst part is that it doesn't really matter because it's gonna go down next turn even if I did nothing. Oh, that's right, Taylor Swift probably just beat the turn 1 because that's what Tail Swift does. Oh, and you know, I'm gonna save Congenerate and Ellie for last because if it comes down to spamming Discharge, then it comes down to spamming Discharge. And I would rather obviously do that with Ellie as my partner. Oh, I was gonna say, the question is though, what can I do with you? How can I avoid you not fainting? But I remembered that I have a special little move that puts anything to sleep. So maybe why don't I just use that? That seems like a solid choice. So with Bramble down, I believe that means that he'll only have 3 Pokemon left, which be nice because I think I only have 3 Pokemon left. I think the key to actually having Breloom be able to do anything in this fight and not be a hindrance because of part fighting and all that. Oh, thanks for spoiling what Pokemon's coming out next. As I was saying, I'm gonna need to use the Sleepy Sleeps if I want to avoid Funland getting obliterated before she has a chance to do anything. Oh, when was Funland faster? I could have sworn that Swimmer Speed ended up outspeeding it once or twice. Maybe there was maybe it was a level difference. Oh, hi. Funny seeing you know, awake. Okay, this is not good. He says as he sends out the other Pokemon on his team that's weak to grass. I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope this knocks it out. Pretty sure. Yeah, I think Funland was stronger than whatever hit it before, so thank goodness. It'll be close. It might be closer than I like, but I think we're gonna pull through. Of course you have an Azumarill of your own. And that's the last one. I think it's time. Let's find out together if Altaria is Dragon Flying or Dragon Fairy. I'm pretty sure it's Dragon Fairy. But we're gonna find out together. Awesome. A bit painful of recoil, but at least I have options to get that back. More importantly, it won't matter because this should end the fight. Should. And moment of truth. It is not part flying, yes! It only took like 2 areas in a battle bingo to learn what Altaria's type is. Despite in this mod. But it's finally been confirmed. That was an impressive battle. Here's your Pokecoupons. We're up to 60,000, and like I kind of hope there's a secret secondary Pokecoupon shop, cause I'm not sure what else I could spend them on that I haven't already exhausted in Mount Battle. Right, let's see what we get for clearing the area. Ooh, I will take that with open arms. I'm glad I divided this area up into 2 videos. I'm just looking at the timer on my recording and seeing that we're not quite, but so close to 50 minutes. Was not expecting the fairy area to be one of the tougher parts I've done all weekend. Well, them's the breaks, I guess. I'll be honest with you all, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. We're at level 50 like I wanted, but I'm a little nervous going into the final area. Like, I feel confident going in at 55, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna grind to that level or just wing it. Either way, I'm gonna bid you all adieu for now. That's gonna be it for this edition of Pokemon XG Next Gen. Can't guarantee if we're ready to go to the Dark Isles quite yet, but we are definitely close. I just need a little time to think about it. Until then though, I'll see you all later.